So, what am I talking about today? I'm talking about debunking mindset myths. There are a lot of them. So, we all know about mindset and how important it is to get you going, keep you moving, and help you get the results you want, right? We all know that. But there's a lot of things people say about it that creates problems and make people be very skeptical about it. Just because some of the things there's just a lot. And so we're going to look at a couple of them and just how they play out and how you can change them for yourself. The first one I want to talk about is the fixed mindset. That's a big one because a lot of people tell you, don't have a fixed mindset. Fixed mindset is bad. You have to have this growth mindset. And I've said it because you want to have a growth mindset, but sometimes there's a misunderstanding of what fixed mindset and growth mindset means, right? So when you say fixed mindset, people look at it as a really bad thing because they want you to have this growth mindset. Because the term tends to mean unyielding and inflexible or incapable, right? So people look at fixed mindset and they say it's a bad thing. And then they get stuck because they're stuck in this mode that fixed mindset means you're just totally inflexible and you can't move. It's like bam, bam, bam. You're banging your head against the wall trying to do something that can't happen, but doesn't have to mean that, right? Fixed mindset in some ways simply means being set on what it is you want to achieve and being persistent in making that happen. And so sometimes people will look at someone that is persistent in trying to do a specific thing and say they are in a fixed mindset, but they're not. They're very focused on what it is they're trying to accomplish. And being focused is a really good thing. So don't confuse focus with fixed. Right. Yes, Fran. So Fran is saying focused and fixed. So some people say when they see someone that's really focused and persistent on achieving this one thing and going at it and going at it and going at it, they'll say they have a fixed mindset instead of a growth mindset. And when they say fixed mindset, they're meaning that they're stuck and unyielding and inflexible and not moving. And those are two separate things, right? So when you are just really focused on what you're doing, it may seem like it's a fixed mindset, but it's not a bad thing. You need to be able to focus and be persistent on what it is you're trying to achieve in order to move forward. Yes, exactly, because focus can lead to great growth. When you get focused and you're being persistent like that, and then someone says, oh, you have a fixed mindset and that's really bad, you can get discouraged. You have to be able to focus. You have to be able to be persistent. And so don't let people use the term fixed mindset to distract you because that's not true. And people have to work with a combination of focus and the growth mindset. Another thing that I want to bust, a lot of times people look at growth mindset and they think it means that they have this unlimited capacity to just take on new projects, new projects, new projects. Right now, in a lot of places, people are looking at these young kids who are coming on and they're taking on jobs and they're like, I'm going to do what's in my job description. I'm going to do my work. I'm going to work from this time to this time. And this is what's going to happen. Corporate leaders and different people are now having this whole big thing about quiet quitting because these leaders want you to believe that you just can take on everything and do everything and lay it all on the line for the company. And so they're accusing these people of quiet quitting because they're only doing what's required of them for the job. They're not going over and above. If you want them to go over and above, then put that in the job description and pay them accordingly. So you're demanding more of them than you're willing to pay for them, and you're using the term growth mindset to say this is what should happen. But growth mindset doesn't mean take on everything that comes your way. It doesn't mean take on project after project after project, because you'll end up burnt out and not getting anything done that you want to accomplish. This is why it helps to really understand that there has to be a balance between growing. So, a growth mindset means you're willing to look at different ways of how to do something. You're willing to look at different opportunities and to get the same results. You're willing to look at maybe changing up what the result is you might need. You're willing to learn new things to be able to go after what you want. But at the same time, there's got to be that balance of focus. This is what I'm going after. I'm going to be consistent on going after this. This is where my persistence lies, because this is my purpose. This is my goal. This is my intention. And everything that I'm growing about is to get to this. You can look at that as a fixed mindset, or you can look at that as a focused mindset, but you need it in order to actually move in the direction you want to go. And then that growth mindset gives you the ability to find ever new ways of getting to your intended goals. It's not about just taking on anything that people throw at you. It's growing in your purpose and growing in the things that you have defined as important to you, and that you're willing to take a risk and be uncomfortable to achieve. That's how you get there. So you need those two things. Another one is, people act like everybody can be super successful at everything, right? It's like you can do everything, you can do anything, you can have anything you set your mind out, whatever you want to do, you can do. Always be learning, always be growing. It's all possible. And here's the thing: technically, it is all possible to some extent, but it's only possible to the extent you're willing to do the work to make it happen, right? So a lot of times people throw around growth mindset and affirmations and um, knowing that you can do all of these things and just keep going and you can do it all. And you can't, because you weren't meant to do it all. You were meant to do your gift. You were given a gift that is yours to share, that makes you unique, that makes you who you are. And what you do, what your superpower is what takes you out into the world. It makes you unique. And when you focus your potential and your focus and your work all on making that superpower better, then you're growing and moving in a successful direction. But when you're trying to do everything, you end up not being able to actually do anything well, and you don't even really focus in and grow and build up that superpower that you have, that you should be giving to the world. Yes, there's only 24 hours a day in a day, and there's 7 days in a week, and you have to choose what you're going to use your time for. You have to choose what you're going to use it for in order to forward your purpose and your goals in this lifetime, to make your intentions happen. Because otherwise, you're all over the place and nothing's happening. And we've gotten into this whole thing of, you know, instant gratification and, you know, you can do anything you want, but we always leave out, but you got to do the work. Got to take action. It's not fairy godmother stuff. You got to take steps. And then the other thing is, we say we got to applaud everything that we do, all of our efforts, no matter what, and act like there's no failures. But there are failures, right? Sometimes you fail. Sometimes you fall flat on your face, right? If you have a growth mindset, you can see that as stepping stones. You can see it as a learning curve. But that doesn't mean you applaud it or you reward it, right? You keep moving. You use it to grow so that you can get to the results that you want. Because if you just, oh, I get the prize now because I tried, then what's the point of continuing to trying to get where you're going? You already got the prize. But life doesn't work like that. You don't get the prize until you get the results. And sometimes people mean well and they make it so hard. So many times, like I used to coach a girls basketball team, and we went to this Ironman competition and they played so bad. I was embarrassed. They played so bad. And the other team felt for them and they kept trying to let them score. And the worse the other team played, the worse they played. It was atrocious. But at the end of the day, their parents wanted to take them to have cake and celebrate they played. And I didn't want that to happen because they didn't play. And so I said, okay, they all have to get in my van and I'm going to drive them as a team and we'll meet you there. And I let them know how I felt about it. And I let them know that they didn't deserve to be rewarded because they didn't put the effort in that I knew they were capable of. Now, if they had played all out their very best and lost, that would have been a different thing. They didn't. And because they didn't, they would just had gotten used to they could do whatever they want and then it was okay. Because that's how, in a certain generation, people were raising their kids. You have to be able to put in the work to get the results. That's just how that goes. The last thing I want to say is that you have to put in the effort, you have to put in the work, you have to get the results to get the reward. Because every time you do that, you build a success reel. You build a success reel that you can lean on, and you have greater odds of getting success the next time out because you've learned, you've gotten hungrier, and you can improve. Some people equate mindset, having a growth mindset, having a positive mindset with having to always be positive and never, ever, ever recognize that things aren't working the way they want them to, or that things aren't going well, or is that something really bad is going on? Because sometimes something really bad is going on. The stuff happens, and you have to get past the setbacks, and you have to find a way to move through them, and you have to be able to look at it critically and know that it's not what you want, right? And that doesn't mean you give in. Positive, 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 positive. And I talked a little bit about that toxic positivity because you have to acknowledge when things are, because your circumstances, the sucky is what it is. It's just sucky. And you got to be able to deal with the sucky because everything isn't always wonderful. But then you have to be willing to look at that, to sit in it and say, okay, but I choose to see what I can learn from this and figure out a different way around it and see what I can do to make this not be sucky next time, or how I can deal with this, have this affect me in as minor a way as possible, or you know what I mean? So it's not that you can't walk around denying things exist that exist, but you have to find a way to be able to do whatever it is you want to do anyway. That doesn't require you to walk around with rose colored glasses or be a Pollyanna. Exactly. How can I not, why me? That's a perfect way to say that, friend. Because when you can figure that out, it gives you a strength and it helps you learn how to work around bad situations, because there are always bad situations that come up. And if you think everything's just going to be smooth sailing and nothing's going to be rough, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. You're going to have a hard time getting to where you want to be. If you are avoiding mindset or think mindset growth, if you're avoiding the whole topic of in a positive way so that you can move forward in your life and your business and think it can't help you because you've been believing these myths, now we've done a little myth busting. So let's look at how it really works. Okay. Mindset, changing your mindset will change your life. And I know that because I'm a living example of it working. And you can do that too. And I invite you, of course. Yes, Fran said for sure rude awakenings happen more often than we want. And we can get around them. And so As always, I invite you to join me in my mastermind. We talk about these things, we work on these things, and we are growing businesses where we're not afraid of the rough stuff, we're not scared of the hard stuff, and we know how to work around them. Keep going, moving forward, keeping our mindset and its growth mindset without feeling stuck or like we have to be Pollyanna about it. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you get something out of it, and I will talk to you all later. I love you very much, and I'm happy you're here. All right, take care, people. Talk to you later. Bye.